I used to think a full closet meant more options, and I was wrong the whole time. There is a woman in Paris right now, 63 years old, standing in front of a wardrobe so small it looks almost embarrassingly bare, and in under 7 minutes she will be dressed and out the door looking more elegant than most of us manage after an hour of fighting with our own closets. No pile of rejected outfits on the bed, no standing there muttering that you have nothing to wear. If your closet is packed and still feels impossible on a Tuesday morning, this is for you. Today I'm showing you the 7 pieces French women over 60 build their entire look around, the exact pieces that make them look younger and unmistakably chic. And piece number 4 is the one most women are too afraid to wear until they see what it actually does for them. Before we get there, hit subscribe, because after this, you're going to want the rest of what's coming. Piece number 1 starts with the coat that changes how a room sees you before you've said a single word. Now, let's get started with the first piece. The first piece on our list that will make you look effortlessly elegant is the trench coat, and I promise you, it is not doing what you think it's doing. Forget rain, that was never really the point. Not for the woman who understands what this coat actually does for her. The moment you put it on, before you've said a single word to anyone in the room, it has already spoken for you. I noticed this myself the first time I belted one properly instead of just throwing it over my shoulders. My posture changed before my outfit did, shoulders pulled back on their own, chin lifted without me even deciding to lift it. That is what this piece is built for. You belt it, you never button it to the throat, and that one small decision creates a single clean vertical line running from your shoulder straight down to your knee. A line that elongates everything without asking your body to look one bit different than it already does. This is not about hiding anything. It is about directing the eye exactly where you want it to go. And here is the detail that separates a woman wearing a coat from a woman wearing a decision. She cinches that belt with intention, never lets it hang loose like an afterthought. That single choice is the difference between looking like you grabbed something on your way out and looking like you knew exactly what you were doing. Effortless, but never accidental. That is the whole secret. And if you thought the trench was doing a lot of work, wait until you see what a simple sweater is about to do for your entire face. The next piece that will make you look polished and refreshed at the same time is the navy sweater. And I need you to put down whatever black sweater you were about to reach for, because it might be quietly working against you. Black has been sold to you for decades as the safest choice, the one neutral that supposedly goes with everything and flatters everyone, and I understand why you believed it. Most of us did. But here is what almost nobody tells you. Under regular indoor lighting, black does not do what you think it does. It flattens. It pulls color straight out of your face, and instead of looking sharp, it can quietly leave you looking tired, even on a day when you feel your absolute best. The navy does the opposite. The navy holds warmth against the skin instead of stealing it, and that one substitution can make you look like you slept 8 hours even on the mornings you didn't. This is the kind of detail most stylists never bother explaining, either because they assume you already know it, or because black is simply easier to sell. You deserve to know the difference. Now let's talk about what makes this piece so quietly powerful. A navy sweater is never just one outfit. It is 5. Worn under your blazer, it reads polished and pulled together. Worn alone with the trench draped over your shoulders, it reads relaxed but never careless. Tucked into a straight-leg trouser, it looks considered. Left untucked over the same trouser, it looks easy, unbothered, like you didn't have to try. That range, the way one piece adapts to every version of your day without ever losing its sophistication, is exactly what separates a considered wardrobe from a convenient one. And here is the part that matters most, the part that ties directly back to how young or how tired you appear on camera, in photos, in the mirror at 7 in the morning. Color sitting near your face is doing more work than almost anything else you own. The navy near your face reads as vitality. Black near your face reads as fatigue. That is not opinion, that is simply how light behaves against skin. One quiet swap, and suddenly your whole face looks rested before you've done anything else. But there is one piece on this list doing something so invisible, so quietly essential, that you will not even notice it's there until the day you leave it behind. Piece number 3 on our list is the one nobody explains properly, and once you understand it, you will never look at a plain cotton top the same way again: the silk blouse. Most of what hangs in your closet was never chosen with your face in mind, but this piece is different, and the difference comes down to something as simple as light. Silk, or a good silk feel fabric if pure silk feels like too much right now, does something cotton and jersey physically cannot do. It doesn't cling to you the way those fabrics do. It drapes. It moves with your body, instead of mapping every inch of it, and as it moves, it catches light and reflects it gently upward, straight toward your face. I have to be honest with you, this is the detail almost no one explains in styling advice, and it is the real reason certain women seem to glow in photos without doing anything obvious differently. It was never a filter, it was fabric. At this age, that upward light is not a luxury. It is quiet, functional engineering, softening shadows and fine lines in a way no cream or serum has ever promised you as reliably. Now, the wearing of it matters just as much as the fabric itself. One deliberate half tuck at the front, loose, never yanked tight. Minimal jewelry, or none at all, because the blouse is already doing the work, and anything competing with it just becomes noise. Let the fabric speak. That restraint is not you doing less, it is you finally understanding what actually earns attention. 3 pieces in, and you are already building a version of your wardrobe that works with you instead of against you. But the next piece on this list is the one most women feel they've quietly earned the right to skip. The one instinct tells you to put it back on the rack. Instinct is about to be wrong. Piece number 4 on our list is the one that looks like absolutely nothing on a hanger and somehow does everything once it's on: the well-cut straight-leg trouser. This is not the trendy wide leg everyone's been pushing, and it's not the skinny cut either. It's simpler than both, and that's exactly why it works. A proper straight leg skims your body instead of clinging to it or ballooning away from it, falling in one clean, uninterrupted line from your hip straight down to the hem. That single, unbroken line does something remarkable. It elongates your entire frame, and it doesn't ask your body to be any particular size or shape to earn that effect. It just works on you, exactly as you are today. We all know this feeling, standing in front of a closet with 12 pairs of trousers that all look almost the same, and somehow none of them feel right, still hunting for something that doesn't exist because the cut was never the problem in the first place. This is the pair that ends that search for good. Now, here's where most women quietly get it wrong, reaching for black by default because it feels safe. Reach instead for navy, camel, or a warm stone tone. These neutrals hold depth and warmth against your skin in a way flat black simply cannot, and depth is what reads as considered instead of convenient. That clean, unbroken line running down your leg is the entire difference between looking dressed and looking styled, between throwing something on and clearly knowing exactly what you're doing. It reads as put together without ever reading as trying too hard, and at this age, that distinction matters more than almost anything else in your closet. 4 pieces down, and your wardrobe is already starting to feel less like a chore and more like a decision you've already made. But the next piece on this list is the one decision most women are quietly, secretly afraid to make. The one instinct tells you to leave in the store. Piece number 5 on our list is the one I promised you back at the start. The piece most women are secretly afraid to wear, the leather jacket. I want to be honest with you for a moment, because I think you already know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a quiet voice that shows up when you see one on a hanger, one that says this belongs to someone younger, someone with fewer responsibilities, someone who isn't you anymore. I know that voice. I've heard it myself. But I need you to hear me clearly right now. That voice was never telling you the truth. It was just repeating a rule nobody ever actually wrote down, one you were never asked to agree to in the first place. You are allowed to wear it, fully, unapologetically allowed. Now let's talk about how, because the way you wear it changes everything. Layer it over something soft, a silk blouse, a fine knit, the navy sweater we already talked about, and let the contrast do the work. Soft underneath, edge on top. That contrast is exactly what separates elegant from costume, considered from trying too hard. It's not about looking younger by pretending, it's about refusing an unspoken rule that was never yours to follow in the first place. Every one of the softer pieces already sitting in your wardrobe, the trench, the sweater, the blouse, the trouser, all of it gets sharper the instant this jacket sits on top. That is the entire point of rebellion done well. It doesn't shout, it simply refuses quietly and looks extraordinary doing it. Take a breath with me here, because this one matters. If you've been hesitating on this piece for years, let this be the moment you stop. 5 pieces in, and there's one left that's been quietly holding this entire wardrobe together the whole time, and you haven't even noticed it yet. Piece number 6 on our list is the one quietly holding everything else together, the tailored blazer in a neutral tone. Think back to every piece we've built so far: the trench, the sweater, the blouse, the trouser, even the leather jacket, and notice what all of it has been leading toward. None of it reaches its full potential without a strong shoulder line, and this is the piece that delivers exactly that. Here's what makes this one so quietly powerful. It works 3 completely different ways without you ever needing to buy a second piece. Worn open over your jeans and a simple tee, it becomes effortless weekend ease. Draped over your shoulders, cape style, arms not even in the sleeves, it becomes elegance with almost zero visible effort. Buttoned and worn fully, it becomes instant polish, the kind that makes people assume you tried far harder than you actually did. One piece, 3 completely different women, all of them you. Now, there is one rule I never break with this piece, and I need you to hear it clearly. Sleeves pushed up, never rolled, never folded. That one small detail is the entire difference between looking finished and looking like you forgot to finish getting dressed. The shoulder line itself is the real secret here. That clean, structured line running from shoulder to shoulder is the foundation every single silhouette in this video has been quietly building toward this whole time. It signals something your posture alone can't always say out loud: readiness, intention, presence in the room before you've spoken a single word. That reads as vitality, not age, and the two are not the same thing at all. 6 pieces down, and there's just one left, and it might be the smallest thing on this entire list, but it's the one capable of turning a completely plain outfit into something unmistakably, undeniably yours. The 7th and final piece on our list is the smallest one, and don't let that fool you: the silk scarf. 6 foundational pieces were built, a wardrobe already doing more work than half of what most closets hold, and now this, something small, inexpensive, the piece most women walk right past because it looks decorative instead of essential. It is not decorative, it is the signature. Knotted once at the neck over a plain white shirt, it takes 4 seconds and instantly reads as 20 minutes of thought. Tied through the handle of your handbag, a bag you've carried for years suddenly looks intentional instead of simply functional. Wrapped once at the nape of a low bun, a simple updo becomes something almost sculptural, something people notice without being able to explain exactly why. Same scarf, 3 completely different statements, and every single one of them unmistakably yours. Here's what makes this piece different from everything else we've built today. It isn't about more clothing, more effort, more anything. It's restraint, elevated by one small, considered detail. That is the entire secret, and it's the one most women never get told. Because looking younger at this age was never really about erasing anything. It was never about disappearing into safe, forgettable choices. It's about looking like a woman who still has a distinct point of view, who still has something to say without saying a word. That's what this scarf does. That's what it's always done. And honestly, all of us are chasing the same thing. The smallest possible change that makes the biggest difference. The one detail that takes 4 seconds and changes how an entire outfit is read. This is that detail. 7 pieces, and none of it was ever really about owning more. It was about deciding once, choosing with intention, and trusting that decision every single morning after. I built this wardrobe with you today because I've stood exactly where you're standing, unsure, hesitant, especially about piece number 5. And if that leather jacket is still sitting in the back of your closet, tag still on, tell me in the comments, because we are not the only ones. If this helps you see your own closet differently, hit subscribe. We're building a place for women who refuse to disappear at any age. Next time, we're talking about the 3 colors French women build their entire wardrobe around, and one of them will genuinely surprise you.